Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 2, where we are currently working on optimizing our economy a little bit. And we don't have a research set. We should probably do that. I'm going to go for mining and farming output, because that is going to be a pretty big deal for us, considering most of our tax income comes from farming, and most of what we're spending in terms of our factory, well, that's on iron, primarily. And there's not a lot we can do about that. Iron and timber is what we're importing, and we don't have a huge amount that we can do about it. Like, we're producing plenty of coal. That's not really a thing. Like, we're kind of floating on how much coal we have. Look at how much we're making from our coal every single day. It's insane. But, we don't have a source of iron, which I'm not a fan of. Now this stuff over here is still uncolonized, which is nice. Where's the RGO map mode? RGO output. Okay, so there's no iron anywhere around here, right? I've checked this. There's some iron down here that Spain controls that we don't really have a prayer of getting. But yeah, there's just not a lot of iron around, which is unfortunate. It's all cotton up over that way. So basically we have to import the iron. However, we can expand our railroad, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm also going to expand it down over here as soon as we can, which will be soon-ish. Soon-ish indeed. And let's see, this will be finished up when? 1906? Okay, that's a little long. I would prefer it to be sooner, but this will have to do. We'll expand this guy as soon as we can, which will be only a couple more days. Well, at the previous rate. At this rate, it'll be a little longer. There we go, now we're going back to the previous rate. This is just the ebb and flow of timber import, isn't it? I mean, it's probably flowing to the factory first before the construction project. We'll go ahead and build our railroad here, and it'll get done eventually. We did have to take a bit of a loan there of 157.8, and I'm going to go ahead and pay that back right now. There we go. Fantastic. So we only have 3 more places to construct railroads. A war to end all wars. Oh boy. It has become increasingly clear that we've entered a new era of unprecedented warfare. The conflicts of our time are no longer mere local issues, but instead reach every corner of the world. Considering the ever-increasing stakes and the terrifying impact of these hostilities on the nations involved, there's no longer any need for restrain. I assume that's supposed to be restraint. From now on, a great war will allow a side that is clearly winning the ability to add even more war goals. Oof. That's a little nasty, actually. Iron production. Hooray! We don't produce iron. I exclusively picked up cheap iron for the coal production. The steel production throughput was good too, though. But this is going to be a big deal, and then we'll pick up inorganic chemistry specifically for the inventions, all of which are pretty good for us, with the exception of paper production. But that rubber production output, ooh, that is spicy, 100%. That would mean that this would be almost back to its previous highs. And this would be, still kind of mediocre, but basically back to its previous highs as well. More people are getting into the RGO over here, though. We're up to 14,000, although it seems to be kind of stagnant right now. Maybe they don't hire if there is insufficient demand for rubber? I don't know. It's certainly intriguing, though. As far as our factories go, we are doing okay. It's not too bad, actually. We're heavily subsidizing, but that's to be expected. We do have a few more employees trickling in all the time. So that is also a good thing. The real question is, when can we do something about whenever another party takes over, they just fire all of our employees? Because that is annoying, and I wish they weren't doing that. That is very, very annoying indeed. However, we can build some railroads. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to build a railroad here. Then we are not going to quite have enough to build another one, but it's going to be close. I mean, it's going to be occasionally dipping down as we import the timber for it. And everything else, but everything else gets bought up real quick. Actually, everything else gets produced by our factories, so I'm willing to bet that we do that first, and then buy anything on the market. And of course, we are paying as much as we possibly can to get the goods as quickly as we can, so that's something that we could potentially think about optimizing. So we're going to need, what, 2523? 2519, okay. Not too bad. And we are going to be finishing up our steam engines very, very shortly, which is fantastic. Because that's going to be another big bump in our income. I'm going to go ahead and expand that. Now that did dip us into debt, but I can repay that immediately. There we go. Problem solved. And then we only need the one more railroad up over here, which is fantastic. And as soon as we're done importing all of our timber, we should go right back to our previous income. Ooh, look at that. 10% mining, 15% farming, instantly jump up so much. That is amazing. We're going to grab inorganic chemistry, not for the supply limit, but as I said before, for these inventions. These inventions are really sweet, so we're grabbing those. And I think, since we're currently importing timber and making this much money, I think we can cut our taxes by 5%. So I'm going to do that. About like that. And of course, we're currently losing a little money, but that's because we're importing timber. That is to be expected. Italy discredited France. Good job, Italy. Excellent. I kind of don't care what's going on outside of our borders right now. Or, you know, in Sokoto. I mostly only care what's going on in these two provinces. And I love it. Okay, army attrition reduction, military hospitals, pop growth increase. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. In fact, that's a pretty big deal. Hey, we can do a reform. What do we want to go for? Well, we've got a maximum work hours movement. So let's go ahead and go to... This would be a 5% reduction in factory throughput, but I think that's okay. Because there's also luxury needs reduction. Flu pandemic, you'll have to wait. That's a factory cost increase. That's not a big deal. But I think we need to go for the 14-hour workday. And then we'll also fight the disease with every available means. We've had this happen before. It's not a huge deal. We'll just lose some population for a while. In fact, population is still increasing. Okay, the increase is decreasing, if that makes any sense. But we're going to go negative here pretty soon, probably. Yeah, there we go. We are losing people to the flu, but that's fine, honestly. We'll get them back eventually. Letter campaign. Oh, okay. So, the suffragettes are doing a letter campaign. All pops would become more liberal, or gain it up to 15 liberal in the upper house. Sure. We'll gain 15 liberal in the upper house. I'm not too concerned about that. I'd rather they not vote liberal, though, because I don't want the liberal faction to take over, because they make a mess of things in the one day they have control. Mostly because they break my carefully crafted stratagems here. Because they have no idea what they're even doing. However, this is our final railroad expansion over here. We did go a bit into debt there. Oh, 12? 12 pounds. Okay, I'll just pay that back. Fantastic. Okay. So, our railroads are now being constructed, which means that the next thing we want to do is build an artillery factory, which means we're going to have to save up quite a lot. Liquor production output, we don't make any liquor. I don't really care about that. I mean, we import liquor, but we don't make any of our own, really. So that's kind of irrelevant to us. We are losing a fair amount of pop to this flu pandemic. I don't know how much longer it's going to be lasting, but we'll survive it. Well, not all of us. Some people won't survive it, that's for sure. Still importing the timber for this last railroad. There's a bit of a timber shortage in the world. Like, realistically. How much timber is currently on the market? Let's see here. Timber would be a raw material. Rubber, timber. Here we go. Timber is in high demand. Price unchanged since yesterday. Okay. So the maximum stockpile isn't very big. Interesting. Interesting. So, I mean, we're not stockpiling very much timber, and maybe we should be. We've discovered machine tools. That is a very big deal. Factory throughput tech, mining output of 50%. Machine parts production output of 2% as well. That is a huge deal for us. Because look at how much coal we're producing. This is insane. Absolute insanity over there. Let's go ahead and go into trade. And let's stock up a bit on our timber. Let's have our maximum stockpile be like 200. Or 2,000 even. Do we want to control the clergy? Yeah, they can gain consciousness, that's fine. What's going on here? Spain wants military access. Sure, I don't want to fight Spain. Who are you fighting? They are fighting Denmark. Good for them. Enjoy that, Spain. So I'm assuming that we are currently stocking up on this, or do we have to confirm this? Actually, we'll just automate that. Oh, the San Francisco earthquake has struck the USA. That's unfortunate for them. Yeah, we don't seem to be stocking up on timber. I'm guessing I have to hit the confirm trade button. But it's interesting that we can't actually see how much is on the market. That was what I was mostly interested in seeing. Is it in here, maybe? This is a total used by us. And yeah, we don't produce timber. I wish we produced timber, but alas, we do not. Rubber found in a Cordat now. So this is going to change from fruit to rubber. And that's actually pretty much a straight upgrade, at least as soon as the RGO fills up. So that's nice. Now, as far as our factories go, they're doing okay. They're doing fine. Our cement factory is actually completely full of employees right now, and we could expand it if we wanted to. Education for women. Yeah, that's fine. The more people that are educated, the higher our literacy chance goes, or the higher our literacy the higher our literacy percent goes up, and at that point, we get more tech. I'm okay with it. There we go. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to, yet again, continue optimizing this particular economy, because I'm really enjoying the economic side of this game. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.